Hey YouTubers, Rad Flicking back with another DVD update. Got a good amount of stuff to show, so I'm just going to get right into it and start off with something that I finally price matched Best Buy to Amazon. I've been hearing about people doing that for a while, but I've never done it myself. I never really found something that I really wanted that I thought was extremely overpriced, and decided to pull my phone out and check the Amazon. But this is something that I have been waiting for it to come on DVD, and I saw it in Best Buy for $24.99, and then I checked the Amazon price and I had it for $13.99, so I went ahead and price matched it down to $13.99. So I was really happy to pick this up. It is something that I do like a lot, but I wasn't willing to pay $24.99. Anyway, it's the complete first season of Life's Too Short. It's a show that aired on HBO. I'm going to talk a little quick because I don't want this video to be too long. I noticed that a lot of my videos have been pretty long. I've been ranting on a lot. So anyway, just really quick, if you haven't seen the show, it's all about, Warwick Davis. He's done Return of the Jedi. He did Willow. He did some of the Harry Potter films. Horror fans most notably know him as he plays a leprechaun in all the Leprechaun films. And it's just cameras following him around. He plays himself, and he's going through a divorce. He owes the IRS taxes. He can't find work. A lot of little people humor, like he can't reach things, he always falls off of things. And I thought those jokes would be kind of silly, but they're actually pretty funny. And it's created by this guy Ricky Gervais from The Invention of Lying, and he's the original creator of the original UK The Office, and he did another show called Extras, and he does stand-up comedy. He's really funny, and I love the parts where he goes and visits him and his writing partner in the office, because they're always just giving him the runaround, and they kind of treat him like shit. It's pretty funny. So if you haven't seen the show, you should definitely check it out. And like I said, if you see it in Best Buy, you could definitely price match Amazon. Amazon has it for way cheaper. One sec. Sorry about that. The next thing I have here, I got the same day at Best Buy. This one I didn't have to price match though, because it was already pretty cheap, and Amazon had the exact same price. This is $16.99, and I picked up the complete third season of The League. This is my second favorite show that's on air right now. Runs right after my first favorite show, which is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It airs on FX. One thing I could tell people about this show, I think I've said it in other videos when I showed the other seasons that I had picked up of this show. I have the other 1 and 2 seasons of this show. And one thing I could tell you is if you've been wanting to get to watch this show, but what's keeping you from watching it is the fact that you don't know nothing about football, or you're not into football. I'm going to tell you right now that you don't have to know anything to understand this show or keep up with it or enjoy it, because even though the show is about a bunch of friends and one of the friends' wives, that they're all in this, they're all buddies and they're in this fantasy football league. Football has a very small part in the show. There's a lot of football references and a lot of the league lingo that maybe people won't understand. There's a lot of celebrity cameos by NFL players, but it's just really, really funny. If you like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I'm sure you'll like this. It's got a lot of raunchy humor. This is the show that I've seen that has the most quotable lines that I'm sure are gonna end up on T-shirts. These people have new phrases every day, 5 or 6 each episode, and it's one of my favorite shows. Like I said, probably my second favorite show on TV right now, and this is the third season. I got that at Best Buy. The next one is one I got off of Amazon. Sorry, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. The next one I got off Amazon used for really cheap. This is something that I had on my Netflix queue for, I'd say, over a year. And I have over 200 things on my Netflix queue, but I stopped using Netflix some while back, and so this kind of just was buried at the bottom. But I remember seeing it. It was on TV a couple months ago, and I remember that name, and I was like, how do I know that name? And I said, oh, that's right, I had it on my Netflix queue. So I checked it out. I missed the first 20 minutes, but what I did see, I loved, so I went ahead and bought it. And it's Fubar, Balls to the Wall. And see, it doesn't say on the case anywhere Part 2, but this is actually Part 2. The first one is just called Fubar. So I didn't know, so I thought this was the first one, so I watched it. And it's hilarious, and it's really hard for comedy movies to make me genuinely laugh. Not just oh, that was funny. This thing made me burst out into laughter throughout the whole film. It was just hilarious. And really quick, it's about these two guys. And I think this takes place 5 years after the original. So in the original, this guy here named Dean, he has testicular cancer, and they end up removing one of his testicles to get rid of the tumor. So now it's been 5 years. At the beginning of the second one, it's 5 years later, and he's been 5 years clean of cancer. So this guy, his best friend, I always forget his name. I don't know why, I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, Terry. I'm sorry. Terry throws Dean a party for being 5 years clean of cancer, and then it turns into like they tell him like, you know, we're being evicted, so it's an eviction party. So they start trashing the house, and then one of their friends comes by. This guy named Tron, and it's all in Canada, and he works like up north in Canada on like the oil pipeline. He makes a lot of money doing it. So he tells them, since they're both down their luck and they don't have jobs, they're gonna get kicked out of their house, that he'll hook them up with a job. But what they don't notice is that he's really just kind of drunk and talking out of his ass. He doesn't really mean it. But they take him up on his offer, so they drive up there and they start working on this pipeline. But it's like really grueling, physically demanding work, and they pay you a lot for it. And it's just kind of funny to see them struggle with it. And then, like, you know, Terry ends up like really doing good with it, and he meets a girl and they move in. I don't want to give away too much, but I'd say that if you like certain movies. Oh man, I don't know. None come to mind right now. But like headbanger comedy. Another thing is just the way that Canadian people talk. I don't know. I don't want to make fun of them, but it's really funny the way they talk to me. And yeah, I found this movie to be hilarious, and it's really cheap on Amazon, so I suggested picking that one up. The next one I have is a movie, another one that I've been waiting to get for a while, but I wanted to wait for it to drop in price a little bit. I did see it, you know, for like the last few months, really low priced. At Best Buy, but it was on Blu-ray, and like I said before in previous videos, I do not own a PS3, I don't own a Blu-ray player, therefore, you know, I couldn't pick it up. So I finally saw this on DVD on Amazon, and it was really, really cheap, so I decided to just go ahead and pick it up. And it's the 2-disc collector's edition of Hobo with a Shotgun. And I don't know how, you know, collector this edition is, or collector friendly this edition is. I don't know about, you know, how many, you know, special features that there are in extra, but it's a really good movie. It's something that when it first came out, I saw it immediately from Netflix, and I don't know why, like the trailer made me really hyped, and when I saw it I was like a little bit let down, but then after multiple views I ended up loving it. And it's like Rutger Hauer, and he's like a, you know, homeless person, and he's kind of just drifting from town to town, and he ends up in this one town. The one town's like really corrupt, and it's run by like this crime family. And it's like this dad and his 2 sons, or I think one of the guys is like one of the son's friends, and it's just like a really bad town with like drug dealing and prostitution rings and all that, and like everybody's really mean to people and doing random beatings on people, and they hate the homeless. They're always like making them do, you know, crazy stuff like bum fights and all that. So he kind of ends up in this town. He gets kind of sick of the way people are acting, so he just one day just picks up a shotgun and start battling against all the evil people in the town, mainly the main crime family. And it has the kid that was in that movie, Toy Soldiers. And I'm really good at like seeing somebody and noticing their face. And I don't know the kid's name off the top of my head, but I know it was him, and I IMDb'd it later, and in fact it was the kid from Toy Soldiers. But yeah, it's a really good movie, grindhouse, really gory, funny, and over-the-wall action. And it's definitely something I would suggest. Maybe not to get the, you know, 2-disc collector's edition, but any kind of edition will be good just to own. The next one I got is a movie edition that I've been wanting to own, this type of edition, for a very long time, and then it showed up and I'm kind of just like, whatever. But I know that a couple other franchises, not too many people do this edition, but I know another franchise that did it was like the Saw franchise, did like 1 or maybe 2 of them. And but I've never been too into the Saw franchise, so I never decided to get those. But I picked up the collector's blood bag of Ichi the Killer, Takashi Miike, or some people call him Takashi Mike. Yeah, so this is the collector's blood bag, and it's like, you know, pretty cool packaging, see-through plastic all around, you know. And then like the thing is, I don't know if this ever did have blood in it, because I know the Saw one, there's other movies that you could actually squish and there's actual fake blood, of course, but it's, you know, blood nonetheless inside. This has got like, you know, like little fake written on blood and all that. And then this right here opens up, and then you take out the discs, and then this is where I have the issue, is that the discs aren't really protected at all. You know, there's really bad idea for packaging. It's just pretty much, if you could see in there, it's just, you know, disc on rubber, and there's like no protective sleeve there, or like any divider piece to, you know, protect the discs, you know, the part that gets read by the laser. And they're really hard to take out. You know, you gotta really pull it out. And I think that, you know, if you keep doing that over and over again over time, it's gonna just scratch the disc to the point where it might not even play anymore. So I was kind of upset about that, but you know, it comes in a really cool little package. I guess that's what they were looking more into, is the look and not the, you know, the safety of the discs themselves. But it does have some blood residue here, and I was thinking maybe, like, you know, because I know a lot of the editions, I've tried buying blood packs or blood bags before, and on eBay the people get really descriptive about it, and they'll say, you know, like, this is a product from 2009, 2010, like this one is, and the blood has already dried up and it's gone, or, you know, at least it fades away. But I don't think they would have blood in here. I don't know if this ever did have blood. I know if anybody could tell me, if you maybe you bought this when it first came out, if it did ever have blood. I don't know. But I was under the impression that there would be some blood left, but I guess not. Anyway, talk real quick about this movie. It's just about this character. He's on the cover of like the regular editions of this movie, and his character's name is Kakihara, and he's part of the Yakuza crime family, and his pretty much the head of the Yakuza, his boss or whatever, ends up getting brutally murdered, and there's like some drugs stolen or money stolen or something. So he's sent to find the killer and, you know, kill him or bring him in. And the thing is, the killer, you know, kills the boss and then keeps going, killing more and more people, and he kills him in this gruesome, really, you know, horrible ways. And the thing about Kakihara is he's like a sadomasochist. He even has like 2 large incisions that I don't know if they're self-inflicted or if somebody else did it on him. And then he puts like barbell piercings to keep his cheeks together. He's a really sick, gross, cool-looking guy. And like I said, he's a sadomasochist. So like his boss was the only person that would be able to provide him with the amount of pain that he gets off on, that he likes. And now that his boss is dead, he wants to find that guy Ichi, because he wants to see if that guy could, you know, give him the pain that he loves so much. So the whole movie is basically spent, you know, Kakihara trying to find Ichi, and you never know who it is. A lot of gore, as most of Takashi Miike's movies are, like Audition and all that. But some people say it's slow at times. It can be, but it's got, you know, really good, you know, funny acting. Of course, Japanese people. Kakihara, I think, is a really cool character. He dresses like a 70s pimp at sometimes, wearing like colorful pajamas and big fur coats and all that. But it's really good, and I do suggest picking that up. But maybe not suggesting the blood bag, because I mean, I don't know if this one doesn't have any blood, or maybe it never did, but I think even if it did at one point, all of it would be gone by now. Okay, the next one I picked up, I just got today in the mail, and I picked this one up, and I did see the sequel in theaters, and I know it's now out on DVD, and it's really low, it's really well priced. It's only $12.99 for a new release of a movie, even for a horror film. That's really good, but I just haven't really had it in me to pick it up yet. But I did pick up the original, which is The Collector. And what really turned me off from this movie for a while was it says from the writers of Saw 4, 5, and 6. And you know, I'm not really, like I said, Saw is one of my like least favorite franchises. I never liked it. I thought the first one was pretty good, and it was pretty original, and it did get me at the end with the whole twist thing, but then I thought it just got watered down, and I just stopped watching after about 3. But this one I thought was really good. It made me laugh because I've seen a lot of people review this and call it Hostel meets like Home Alone or something like that, because it's just basically this guy, and he's a serial killer. Where you presume he's a serial killer. It looks like he's been doing what he's doing for a while, and he'll basically just, you know, home invade you, and then, you know, like booby trap your house so that nobody could come in, and he'll just take his time torturing you. So it's all about this other guy, played by I don't really remember. Anyway, this guy, I forgot his real name in real life, and I forgot his character's name. But anyways, this guy, and he's like a burglar, like a small-time thief. And one of his gimmick is like he'll get into your house by posing as like a handyman, and he'll come and, you know, fix your house up, and he'll learn the layout of your house and see, like, you know, what kind of stuff you have laying around. And he'll come in another day and he'll break in and he'll take your shit. So he plans to do it to this one family, and they're supposed to be gone. And then the night he sneaks into their house, he's getting into the safe, and all of a sudden he hears screaming, and he finds out that he's not alone in the house, that the collector's there, and this guy has the whole freaking house. I'm talking about every room, every hallway, you know, around every corner. There's just all these, you know, wacky booby traps, sort of like the Goonies or Home Alone, but they're like, you know, obviously way worse than that. Though they'll kill you. And everything from wire to acid to knives to freaking hooks to bear traps, all this type of shit. Really fun, really cool movie. I think it was way better than the sequel, but the sequel was still okay. Definitely recommend picking this one up if you haven't seen it yet. Got it really cheap on Amazon. The next one I have here, I am very excited to finally own this. This is something that when I got into the franchise itself years ago, I always wondered if there was indeed anything else after the franchise, like a documentary. And I thought it deserved it, but I really thought it never would have one. And then about a year ago or 2 years ago, come to find out it does have a documentary about it. I was really excited about that. So I put it in my wish list, but it was just always really, really high in price. And then I always add stuff, new stuff to my wish list, so I just kept burying and burying and burying. I actually forgot about this completely, and then something reminded me the other day. I think I was watching a DVD update of another guy, or like a overview of his whole horror collection on YouTube, and he had this, and it made me want to go check it again. And I checked it, and the price had dropped a lot. So I picked this up from Amazon, and I'm extremely happy to own this. And it's the More Brains: A Return to the Living Dead, the definitive guide to the Return of the Living Dead documentary. I'm sorry, the definitive Return of the Living Dead documentary. So it's a documentary all about, actually, you know what, I can't say too much because I literally just got this today before I went to work, and I just got home from work, so I was going to pop this in. I don't know if it goes into the sequels or if it just goes as far as the original. Even if it does just go as far as the original, I'd be still really, really psyched because Return of the Living Dead is one of my favorite franchises. I love what they did with the zombies. I love the second one even more than the original, but I love the original. And I'm really excited to finally own this. It looks so cool sitting there next to my first two Return of the Living Deads. Third one I'm still waiting on, and when I get that, then I'll put that in the next. But it's got like a lot of extra special features. And when I bought it, I didn't know it wasn't shown with a sleeve, but I got this cool sleeve. This is the regular, you know, case. It's got the back there, and then this is the sleeve. It's got the little drum where the, you know, the zombies at with the gas and all that. So was really excited to get it. And then it came with a slipcase, which, you know, if you see my videos, you know I talk about how I love slipcases. And it's got a bunch of cool stuff in here. And, you know, it has the guy that played, you know, in the first two. He died in the first one, then he came back in the second one. They had the whole joke, that running joke where, you know, he kept, he got turned into a zombie again. He got the disease and got bit. And he was talking about, you know, he feels like this deja vu. He also was in one of the Friday 13th. I don't remember his name, but he's a really good actor. I liked him a lot. He's a big-time horror actor. He's one of my favorite guys. So yeah, really excited that I got this and can't wait to watch it when I'm done with this video. I'm definitely going to pop it in and watch it. The next two that I have, my awesome girlfriend bought for me. And these are things that I have had on my wish list also, just sitting there rotting away, and I just never pull the trigger on. So she got me these two things. The first one is the Fight Club. And this is like the... you know what? I'm actually not too sure. I guess you would just call this maybe the... I know it's a 2-disc. I think it's either like a collector's or special edition. But it's got this really cool... Feels like a book, like a paperback book. And it's like, you know, all wrapped up in like a mock... like a paper bag with... You know, tied with string. And then right here, you know, Tyler Durden says... Use soap. And then you got the 2 discs inside. Really cool edition of the movie. Great movie. Loved it. One of the movies I love the most actually has a twist at the end. I don't know, a lot of movies that have twists I'm just not really into, but I really enjoyed this film. Don't gotta say too much about this. I'm sure everybody's seen it with Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. But yeah, she picked me that up for really cheap. And then the gem of them all, the one I've been waiting for forever. Ever since I started seeing the show years and years ago, I always wanted to have this box set, and I finally got it. And there is another one that supposedly is better, but it's always been like a couple $100s, and I don't think it's that much better than this edition. And I just always liked the way this edition looked better anyway. So she went ahead and picked me up because my girlfriend's amazing. Freaks and Geeks: The Complete Series, my all-time favorite, like high school show. You know, I don't like Degrassi or all these other cheesy ones or more shows. I think this is like perfect. Even though, you know, I was born in the late 80s, I didn't live throughout the 70s and stuff. Love that era, and it's just really cool. It's really real, and they don't focus on like jocks or like stupid stuff. They focus on like the real people. You know, most of us were like, you know, awkward teens, and some of us were more rebels. And it's just basically it's created by Judd Apatow, and it's directed mostly I think by Paul Feig. And you know, the guy Judd Apatow needs to get more credit, man, because he created a lot of good things that for some reason the companies just ended up, you know, canceling his shows all the time, which is really messed up. But it's a really good show, and it's got a lot of my favorite actors at the beginning of their career. You know, you got James Franco, Jason Segel, Linda Cardellini, Seth Rogen, Jonathan Francis Daly, Martin Starr, Jerry Levine, like all these, you know, they're all young and they're all at the beginning of their careers, and it's really awesome to watch them. And it also has Busy Phillips. It also has like this, I forget this other kid's name, but it's just really good, and it's just all about, you know, following, you know, geeks, which of course these, you know, these three guys, Jonathan Francis Daly, Martin Starr, and Jerry Levine are all the geeks, and then the freaks would be like, you know, like the stoners and like the people that don't do well in school and skip class, and like, you know, troublemakers and doing drugs and drinking alcohol and all that, and that's them right here. And then Linda Cardellini, like throughout high school, she's brothers with Jonathan Francis Daly, by the way. They're the Weirs, Sam Weir and Lindsay Weir. And throughout high school, she's a really good girl. She's even like a mathlete. She does really good in class and gets good, great grades. But then her grandmother passes away. That's a really small part of it. Like, if you don't really pay attention, you won't even notice why she's doing what she's doing. But like, her grandma passes away, and her grandma was a really good person her whole life, and then she died. So she kind of sees it as like, well, you know, everybody's gonna die, and you know, I could die tomorrow, so I might as well start trying to live my life, you know, more like exciting. So she ends up starting to wear her dad's army jacket and not really wear makeup, and she doesn't care about school. Starts hanging out with the freaks, and she's like skipping class and going to parties and getting into trouble. So it's like basically a geek kind of trying to cross over to the freaks and you know, do a transition and all that. I'm just so excited to finally own this, and they show this all the time on IFC late at night. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit on my shelf for a little while until I start missing it enough, and then I'll pop it in. But yeah, really excited to finally get this. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of my update, and I'm really glad that I could show you and share all the films that I got. I'm really excited. Great pickup. I also do have a lot more coming through the mail that I'm waiting on, and when those come through, I'll do another update. So it shouldn't even take about 2 weeks. Should take about a week, and I should have a bunch more DVDs to show you. I really want to try to, you know, do these videos as often as I can. I don't want to come at you too fast and you guys get tired of me, but I do want to stay active, and I want to do a lot more videos and be buying a lot more, and I just love doing these videos. So, you know, don't forget to like the video, and you know, drop any comments you want in the comment box, and you can ask me questions about it. You can tell me if you have any of these editions that I have too, any questions you have for me, any suggestions of videos I should do. And yeah, don't forget to like the video, and I'll see you next time in my next update. Alright.